السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Just doing a late night chill session. Trying to see when people are online, might go through some content, might just react to some of the content I've done. Oh, what is that? Oh, don't care about that. Anyway, I was just like, hey, you know what? I'm bored out of my mind, not doing anything. It's a weekend, summer vacation. Why not, right? I don't know. Lord Adam. Let me see if I can find. Well, actually, you know what? I might. How do I share my screen? Hope I can share audio as well. Interesting. Alaikum assalam, Fahad. Let me know if my audio is all right. Because, actually, let me check my settings. Oh, that's not what I need. There we go. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a choice, so yeah. Bada bingy, bada boom. Now I hope I can share I know how to share my screen. I just hope I can share audio. That's important. Oh wait. Oh, there we go. Hold on. I gotta press the share button, don't I? That should do it. You guys can let me. Wait, that's not the format I want. You guys can let me know if you guys can hear this. Oh. Can you guys hear that? Actually, wait, hold on. Were you guys able to hear that? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh man, I guess I'll have to sort this out later. Man, what are you gonna do? How do people do this? I can't. My sisters are outside. Teenagers, man. I'm 20 years old, so I don't fit in that category. I'm just going through my settings right now. Might have to figure this out. I don't know. I didn't know there was something going on. I think I did see a video by Shamsi saying something about Sheikh Rahman, but I didn't know there was something like going on between them. Like actually, Allahu Alam. Edit name. Weird, man. I should have tested this out earlier. I thought it'd be easier. Don't care about this. Don't care about this. Don't care about this. Stop sharing. StreamYard is quite intriguing. I'm trying to figure out how to share my audio here because that's what I'd like to do. Because that would be nice. Then again, what do I know about this stuff? I am self-taught. Standard definition. Don't care about that. Ugh, man. How you guys doing, by the way? Inshallah, you guys are doing all right. First question is, what the hell you guys doing up at this hour? Because obviously it's normal for me to be up, right? But you guys can't be. Yeah. Here, look, if I do this, not remove from stream. Here, I'm gonna mute myself because I don't want the noise coming from my microphone. So I'm gonna mute myself. I want you guys to let me know if you can hear this. So I'm gonna play the video. I want you guys to let me know if you can hear it. I'll mute myself. Let me know.
Sharing his wisdom with his.
So did you guys hear that? Wait, can't hear anything. Okay, man. You know what? I'm gonna Google it. That's what you do, right? This is where it comes down to. Must click the share audio button. I don't see a share audio button. Is there a share audio button? I don't see one. Let me get this. Guys, share audio. I don't see a share audio. Let me go back to what I looked up. Share screen. Oh, wait. Hold on. We're getting somewhere. Hold on. Have faith in me, guys. We heard him when he came up on the screen. Yeah, I know, because I unmuted myself. So that what you were hearing right there, then and there, was through my microphone. But like if I mute myself, like watch, if I mute myself, can you guys hear it? Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Yeah, because well, you got the 2 or 3 seconds you guys heard before was through my microphone because I unmuted myself. But yeah, it's I'm trying to get it to work through StreamYard itself, which I think I found the answer here. Ish. Let me remove that. We're all learning together, right? No, you guys are just laughing at me right now. I know you are. Oh, I think I understand. Okay. I think I know what I need to do. Ah, here we go. Share tab audio. Select. All right. Now let's try it. Now I'm going to mute myself. You guys should hear it. You should hear it. Here, I'm going to start from the beginning. Wait, listen. Let me know if you guys can hear this. I'm going to mute myself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters, I hope this finds you well. Inshallah, today we will be responding to Apus's video where he attempts to demonstrate that the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was not aware of the existence of diseases. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was not initially. Alhamdulillah, we finally figured it out. We got it, guys. See, we're learning as we go along. Yep. Awesome. That's what I like to hear. Oh, we got Yusuf Ponders in the house. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I think I was on stream with you earlier today. Well, for me, it's today. For you, it was yesterday because it's close to midnight, California. You didn't miss much, Yusuf. I'm just doing a late night. I'm just doing a late night stream. I kind of on the spot. And it's morning where you're at. I'm just reacting to old. This is my first response video ever. Just reacting to my first response video. There's a story behind this response video, which I'll tell you guys in a little bit. But first, we'll go through it a little bit. Oopsie, didn't mean to do that. Here we go. Actually planning on responding to this video, but you know what? Someone requested it, so bismillah.
The Prophet Muhammad, when sharing his wisdom with his followers, with his audiences, said very clearly that infectious diseases, contagious diseases, are not real. This is abundantly reported. In one of those instances, Muhammad said, "There is no infection, no hama, no other promising rain, and no serpent in a hungry belly." Hama is a superstition regarding a spirit traveling through animals. Adwa here is infectious diseases, and Muhammad says that it doesn't exist.
Alrighty, so this is the hadith that Apus is currently quoting. Interestingly, if we So actually, I had a conversation with another brother about this, basically about how to go about this, and he gave me some advice. Basically, he said, write down every single reference he brings, write it down, look it up, and take a few minutes just to go through it thoroughly. And not just that, but also specifically with a hadith. Go through the hadith before and the hadith after, because often you'll find the response there, or you'll find the answer there, because oftentimes a hadith, you'll find a narration, and then you'll find another narration after it or before it that is much longer, which gives you extra context, or which gives extra explanation, right? Or gives extra details that which could potentially give you the answer, right? Very often you'll actually find the answer within the source itself, or very close to the source, if you hadith before and after. And I put that in, I use that, and well, let's see what happens. Uh-oh, did I lose it? You guys, by the way, you guys prefer this format or this format? Let me know. Yeah, here, I'll mute myself. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. We actually go to the hadith prior, we're given some extra context. Now, this will be elaborated upon shortly, inshallah.
In another instance, he says the same thing again. He says there is no infectious disease, there is no safar, no hama. One of these is the belief that pain in the stomach is caused by an evil demon, and the other, again, something superstitious. And of course, infectious diseases are also a superstition like those. Why would you believe in something like that?
Nowhere in the quoted ahadith does the Prophet, peace be upon him, state that diseases are a superstition. However, one might wonder, what did the Prophet mean when he said there are no infections? Well, you know what? I'm going to put Ridvan to good use here and have him help us out.
According to another report, he says again that there are no infectious diseases and no bad omens. According to another report, he said one thing does not infect another. And again, according to another report, he said there is no hama, no infection, and no evil omen. If there is in anything an evil omen, it is a house, a horse, and a woman. That sounds very much like Muhammad.
Shockingly, when we return to this very same hadith in Jami' Tirmidhi, we find absolutely no reference to women being a bad omen. What we do find, however, is the Prophet explicitly explaining what he meant. Well, what do you know? There is no adwa nor safar. Allah created every soul, so he wrote its life, its provision, and its afflictions.
So funny enough, this was actually quite funny. By the way, Yusuf, you talking about what do you call it? Wearing hats. There you go. So you prefer my baseball cap on. The what do you call it? Oh, and you said there you go. Yeah. Yeah. So, but anyway, sorry, what was I saying? Yeah. No, funny enough, when actually it was quite interesting how I was quite shocked. I thought I'd misread. I read this exact same hadith over and over, maybe 7-8 different times, because I was like, am I missing something? Because he made a claim this hadith said X, Y, and Z. I go through the hadith and I'm like, did I get the reference wrong? I went back and checked the reference. Nothing wrong. I read the hadith over and over and over. Nothing wrong. I even sent it to the other brother. I'm not going to say who it is, but I sent it to that person to try to basically like, are my eyes deceiving me? What's going on here, man? And then he's like, yeah, it's not in the hadith. Yeah. Now the thing is, now what happens is, it's funny enough because I mean, look, if you see the here, wait, oopsie, wrong format. There we go. You know, this is what I'm talking about. In the very hadith, because what happens is Ridvan here, because when I said let's let I can't speak. Let's let Ridvan help us out, is because he himself is actually quoting multiple hadith on this topic, some of which actually contain the answers to his questions. And this is one example where the Prophet ﷺ explained what he meant when he said, there is no adwa nor safar. In other words, all afflictions ultimately come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? You know, it's this is like the equivalent of us saying, you know, nothing can harm you. Nothing can harm you. Nothing can afflict you, right? And then later clarifying, all these things ultimately come from Allah. Now, it doesn't mean that literally nothing will ever happen to you. Oh, wait. Send a link to join the stream. Oh, yeah, fair enough here. Good thing I remember how to do this. There you go. That should work. Go ahead, and you guys can go ahead and use that link right there. But yeah, it's just like, you know, on the surface now, maybe if you had only known about the hadith prior that he quoted, that can give you some confusion at first. But then if you look into more hadith on the same topic, oftentimes very close to the one you just quoted, and sometimes in other books as well, then you'll often find the answer right there. So, you know, it's just like, you know, it's a very simple tactic, but it can go a long way in answering God knows how many shubahat. Hold on, we got Jawad Shaheen. Assalamu alaikum, Jawad. How you doing, man?
Alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. And who the hell is this? I'm just. Assalamu alaikum, Yusuf. How you doing, man?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, just I don't know how you can do it without getting visibly annoyed.
No.
Yeah, well, you know, what can I say? No, I'll be honest. Look, I'll be honest. I was quite like, here's the thing, because keep in mind, this was my first. When did I post this video? Give me a sec. I posted this video in January of this year, right? So 5 months ago, and this was my first ever response video ever. You know, this was a complete, like, I know I'm watching it now. I'm still like shocked. Like, how did I do this? I'm serious. Like, I'm being 100%. I was so lost at first. Like, how? Like, I was like, I had a notebook out, like with all my notes out, and I'm like, okay, I gotta find the right information, put it all together.
first thing.
Make
he
it,
said,
edit the video, make it entertaining. And it was overwhelming. Alhamdulillah, I had some guidance, but it was, I don't know how I did it. Well, I have no idea. I had a good help, but first step was actually finding the proper response. And I was just like, okay, hold on, I'm missing something here. So I asked for some advice. He's like, did you look up the other hadith? Did you look up every single hadith he quoted? And I was like, maybe not. He's like, yeah, try that. And I'm like, okay, I got to actually go through every reference. And I was, okay, I did that. And I was like, oh, that was easy. Yeah.
It's always the key. It's just actually taking them up on their references. I
was like, you mean I gotta actually look up every single reference he quotes and like read each one? Like, come on, you think? Why would he lie? Why would he lie?
I wonder.
I was like, come on, man. You think
he's increasingly getting more and more frustrating to deal with. Like, we did huge streams on him, reacting to his things, like his debates. The only answer that we got from that debate review with
I find that irrelevant. I remember that.
No. It was he quoted a tiny sentence on Twitter, and then like it said something smarmy about it without actually addressing the point, and that was like the extent of his critical appraisal.
Yeah.
As a viewer, just a watcher, I would say that the tap interaction was probably the worst for him. And okay, I'm biased, right? But for me, trying to give the guy a chance, as hard as that is, right?
Yeah.
It just exposed how insincere, how lacking of ikhlas that he has. Like he didn't try to engage with a discussion that was clearly coming from a very different place. I noticed the way that you guys do it on tap is
Never
you
heard
don't
of it.
yeah, you don't, as much as you can, you take the Islamic cap off. You know what I mean? You kind of, your philosophers who are Muslim, and the way you try to engage with him was that way, yet he couldn't help himself but jump to conclusions and do all the kind of cringy atheist type things.
Oh, man,
yeah.
It's just silly. It's just
it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It didn't help his case at all. But yeah, going back to like how he is, I have to commend you guys for it's like a jihad having to deal with. I literally just switch off. I can't.
Oh, it is. It is definitely
not only does he no longer have influence over someone like me, but he no longer has the ability to keep me watching his stuff, because you can just
hearing
the insincerity is palatable. You can literally bite into the insincerity. How can you take someone like that seriously? You just can't.
I was getting secondhand cringe responding to this. I can't imagine actually having him live with me, man. I was just like, I'd lose it, man. I'd lose it. Because of how smart he is and how intellectually honest he is. All that good stuff, right? Anyway, let's continue this.
Right here, we can see the Prophet, peace be upon him, clearly defining what he meant when he said there is no adwa nor safar. Moreover, there are multiple ahadith that attest to the fact that the Prophet, peace be upon him, was well aware.
By the way, just so you guys, in case you guys were wondering, that picture of me actually is on a place called Pebble Beach in Northern California. It's a popular beach in California.
I thought it was you were on a mountain, and that was like the clouds.
A mountain? No, man, that's the ocean behind me.
Yeah.
That's a.
It looks like you're taking like a mountaintop selfie. You're like, hey guys, I got to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, the ocean could be like the tops of clouds, isn't it?
Yeah, and those little bumps look like little mountains and hills and stuff. On the bottom.
Okay, I can kind of see what you're. I can kind of see it now. Ah, man, that's the ocean. Come on, man.
Well, you just,
of the existence of diseases.
Oh,
now, Apus is well aware of this. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Now, some Muslims try to jump in and save Muhammad again from embarrassment by saying that Muhammad affirms somewhere else that diseases spread. They refer to two cases. One of them is, again, one form of these reports in which the report somehow includes the words of Muhammad that you shouldn't put healthy and sick people together. But that seems like a later addition to the text.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Shockingly, Apus the Muhaddith can provide 0 references or sources.
So yeah, I made sure to put some good use to video effects and funny clips. I had to, man. I had to. What kind of response? Well, what kind of response video wouldn't have those, man? I was just like,
Mine. Might not have them, but I probably should add them. But I'm lazy.
Yeah. Well, no. Trust me, they make all the difference. I'm sure you guys can vouch for that, right? They make all the difference.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, quite honestly, that's the exact response I had when I heard that, and I was like I'm writing things down as he's saying them, and he says that he's like, but that seems like an addition, and I'm like, no references, no nothing, just pulling stuff out of your rear end. I mean, okay, I mean you can do that. You can do that if you like.
I find that a lot of like what do they call them? Anti-Islamic polemicists. They do that. They'll like
it's just inconvenient. They need to get it gone. So
I'm like, do people just take this at like? Does his fan base literally just take that at face value, just like that? I'm like that doesn't raise an eyebrow. Like there's no like.
You know why? Because they do it with their own beliefs. You see, like you see it with David Wood, right? Yeah. They'll just invent a whole thing about they'll invent an interpretation. Oh, it seems like.
Yeah.
Well, there was that video where he was mocking the miracle of the moon splitting, and in that very same video, and then this, funnily enough, was with.
There actually is another video. One of my first YouTube shorts actually was responding to a mockery him and Apus both were making of a certain ayah of the Quran, and I'm just like.
But what was funny was a comment.
How was that funny? The people accuse the Prophet of this, and the Quran refutes them directly with that. Like, what's so funny here? And some people in the comment section, some of their fanboys were like, "It seems like you're agreeing with them." And I'm like, "Yeah, they haven't made any claims. They're just they're making a mockery out of a simple argument of the Quran, and I'm just restating the argument and showing why it makes sense."
Yeah.
You know, it's so.
And then what was funny in that same stream, then later on, someone commented about the sun stopping in the sky.
Yeah, for the biblical verse. I forgot.
Yeah, and then
I remember him was like,
goodness. It's like
there are many interpretations of that.
Yeah, because he was so jovial and jokey when he was talking about the miracles within Islam.
That fake love as well.
Talking about the Christian ones, he's like, oh, he has to switch all of a sudden to like, I need to take miracles seriously now. How do I do that without looking like an absolute idiot?
By the way, Muhammad, you need to your device it says device is not connected, so I think it's either your camera or microphone's not connected. But anyway, some on the back channel in the back chat.
And of course, Apus's Christianity is the worst kept his.
If you watch my second response video, I mean, I might respond to that another night, but you know, that's a good point actually. Oopsie, not like that. Oopsie. I'm still getting used to this, guys. Bear with me. Oh man.
No, wait, you can move people about as well. You can drag just. So
can you really? Wait, hold on.
So you just drag their picture, so you could swap.
Oh snap! Snap! I did not know that.
And whoever's in the top left, when you go to full screen. Because you've got the option to, like you did.
Yeah, I saw that.
Whoever's there goes biggest. Yeah. And whoever's here as well, if you're doing a presentation and you're sharing a screen,
I'll keep that in mind.
Whoever's at the top left is the one that becomes the biggest, and then I think the smallest screen.
Okay. We're learning as we're going. Wait, hold on. How do I undo this? There we go. Wait, now I gotta share the screen again.
I'm gonna go in a minute as well. I'm gonna head to the gym.
Oh yeah, no problem. I was just actually at the gym earlier today, subhanAllah. What's going on, Muhammad?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I just wanted to add some stuff to the refutation because I actually tried to refute it on my own.
Refutation's not over. Don't worry. There's still more left to it, man. Give me some
No,
time.
I'm talking about new points.
Yeah. Go on.
Okay, because this was actually kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm nervous, so I can't يعني صعب علي ما اتكلم في
Nervous from what, man? I'm just a kid from California. Come on, man.
Don't be nervous, bro.
بالضبط.
You with brothers, man. You with brothers.
Yeah.
المهم وفي open بتاع صحيح مسلم
Yeah.
2221a the hadith says there is no transitive disease, but he also reported a sick person should not be taken with the one who's ill.
Your audio went bad, Muhammad. It sounds like you're talking from like the other side of the.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, you got a phone call.
Yeah, sounds like it. I'm just gonna continue with this assertion.
The second thing that they would be referring to is that Muhammad said that when a plague breaks out in a specific land.
Whoa. What was that? When a plague breaks out in part of the land? Funny. I thought the Prophet, peace be upon him, wasn't aware of diseases.
Then you should not flee from that land and you should not go to that land. And
yeah, so like I don't know if it was just me who caught that when I was watching the video. I'm like, hold on, the guy's arguing Muhammad, peace be upon him, doesn't know about plagues and diseases. And he's reading a hadith where the Prophet's talking about plagues and diseases.
He's a master at shooting himself in the foot.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like
every time, man.
I was like, is it just me? Is it just me who's noticing this guy's like is his fan base that I don't even
they don't care, bro. What it is they've heard a number of nasty things about Islam. They've absorbed that and they're happy with that narrative. And now they see Islam as
how blinding is that though? How blinding is that? I mean, if look, I have my biases against Christianity, against Judaism, but then if someone comes and blatantly says okay, look, if someone was to say Jesus as something imagine someone was to say Jesus is not found in the Bible, as ridiculous as a statement that is, and then someone reads a verse in the Bible with Jesus' name in it, that's not going to raise a few eyebrows. You just said that and you just read this.
Well, hatred
combined. What's going on here, man? What's going on here?
You read through his comments, even if so he did these deconstruction videos, and you read through what his fan base is saying about reverse. I was going through the comments of the one that he did on me, and one woman is like, after watching my revert video, and I'm pretty sure that I don't give off any psychopath murderer vibes in that video at all.
Wow.
And someone watches it and goes, "Oh, I hope he doesn't chop off his daughter's head." I'm like, what? Why would you throw that comment in? And how is this just chilling in his comment section? And stuff like that, man. They talk absolute nonsense.
It's no, I would blame them more than I would her. I don't mean to be bad to you, but the way I see it is that she's been convinced of the dehumanization of Muslims.
Yeah.
When they see us, they don't see human beings. They see animals, monsters.
The videos they produce put these lenses over the eyes of everyone that watches their videos. So whenever they see a Muslim, they're thinking about everything that David Wood has said, everything that AP has said.
Well, it's a whole encompassing project, isn't it, Yusuf? It's not just them. It's not just the Hollywood idea that that there is an otherization and there are people out there who's acceptable, that you don't have to see them as human. The terrorist Muslims that they always show in Hollywood these days. It's okay to show them as, it's okay to think of them as not reasonable, not human.
No, man, that makes them feel that just makes them feel better when they go to sleep at night. When they think, oh when I left Islam, or I'm a Christian, I hate Islam. It just helps you sleep at night. No, to think that you know what, all the Muslims in the world are like that. The Muslims down the street, the Muslims at the mosque down the street, the Muslims, I don't know, all these Muslims in the world, they're all just irrational sheep, right?
Yeah, they don't look. Think about it. These people, they don't use reason to form their beliefs for the most part. Yeah. So
they like to let people look. The reason why
why would they
people-
use reason? Sorry, let me just conclude what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why would they then use reason then for them to form the belief that about us, right? So it kind of, to be fair to them, they're being consistent in their using their emotions to form their beliefs, right? So like in Yusuf's example, when the lady said something crazy about, or assumed something crazy about him, it's like, well, he's not one of us. He's not normal. He's a monster. He's an alien. He's one of those aliens that the Avengers were killing in the Avengers.
I knew
Whatever.
it.
He's not like us.
He's a
He's
prawn.
fair game.
One of
fair
them
game.
prawns.
I wouldn't mind being an alien, fighting the Avengers, that dream life. No, I mean, but look, the reason why these people, the reason why these people, look, thinking for yourself is one of the most challenging things to do in this day and age, right? Thinking for yourself, like taking the time to actually, objectively, at least attempt to think objectively, is one of the most difficult things to do. Hence why people love letting others do the thinking for them. Hence why people like Apus have their fan base. People like Hammer Time have their fan base. I don't know what happened. I wonder what happened. What do you call it? People like this have their fan base because people hate thinking. Look, it takes effort to think. It takes effort to, you have to actually go out of your way to, look things up, to examine the arguments, to go, wait, hold on a second. This is wrong with your argument. That's wrong with your argument. This is the flaw. This is wrong with that source. It's just, that actually takes effort. Not a lot, but it takes effort.
I think it's mostly entertainment for them. Like they like watching this because they like to see the beatdown. But what surprises me when people use these as like academic resources.
And that's the best you got.
They're studying it and taking notes and that, and yes. Revising the notes, and then they reuse the same arguments when they're.
I'm actually thinking. I actually wish I can ask. Like, did you actually look these things up? Like, did you actually think this was a good argument, or did you just like the sound of the argument? There's a difference, right? I can, you can spew out things that may sound nice. Oh, that ex-Muslims are all this, or Christians are all that, or Islam is that. You can spew out nice things you might like that might fit your agenda, but like when you dig, it's like, hold on, if you're gonna say this, you got to back it up. This, that, the other. It's like, now you may have liked the sound of it, but did you actually believe it? Did you actually question it? Not just question it, but did you actually like would you feel confident presenting this yourself? That's a good way of testing something. Like, would you feel confident presenting this yourself with the same evidence and same everything? And if not, then, and honestly, by the way, not just a matter of, because that's a question you have to ask yourself, the same evidence and reasoning he's providing, have you examined it enough to the point where you would feel confident presenting it to someone else? And if you can't honestly say no to, now you might say yes, Allahu Alam, but if you can't honestly say yes to that question, then you're either a blind sheep or that's it. You're a blind sheep. That's the only option. I'm trying to think of a better option.
I think this speaks really good to ikhlas, and how like ikhlas is so important in, like, if we were to derive lessons from their mistakes, right? And so we avoid being like them.
Stupid. Don't be stupid.
yeah, there's that, right? But I think it kind of speaks to ikhlas, to sincerity, right? So like, I keep shouting out, but Tap and Daniel Kikuchu, and these certain channels, they show signs of ikhlas because they discuss subject matters that might not be.
Well, no, I think here's the
thing. There might not be something that we totally agree with, right?
Well, Joed, I think that's rather irrelevant to me. That's an inside joke. Yusuf, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's relevant.
I-
Yeah.
I-
We were
just-
thinking of getting
no.
t-shirts with that printed on it.
I just think you're talking about this whole tap, cap, schmap. This whole. I think it's just rather
The cap
irrelevant.
thing, by the way,
It's irrelevant.
That's irrelevant to me.
It's irrelevant.
the hat thing, by the way. So, brother
I'm
Jawad
joking, by the way.
moved. He was living in Morocco when we were first talking. He didn't really sound very brummy.
Wait, who was sorry?
Jawad below.
Oh, Jawad. Okay, yeah.
And so yeah, he didn't sound very like he was. Brummy is someone from Birmingham, and then he moved back to Birmingham, and all of a sudden he became like super Brummy. His accent, and there's a series called
I
Peaky.
don't have a flat cap.
There's a
If it makes you feel better, we Americans can't tell the difference between someone from Birmingham. From
You would
Manchester.
if you like I don't know
I'm
maybe
from Birmingham. I
Birmingham.
speak like this.
I'm from Birmingham.
From Birmingham.
Let me put the links here.
So like I go, assalamu alaikum, brother
Oh
Khalil.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just listening.
What are you guys doing here?
Khalilullah.
You guys got nothing better to do but to join me. I'm a nobody. What
I'm
the hell?
going gym in a minute. I just came on because I was.
I
Nah,
appreciate it.
Khalilullah is here now. You can't.
I appreciate it, man. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, brother Khalil, the links are jump on.
Yeah.
Um,
I swear I was just expecting to be talking to myself just because just talking about this video. Then you guys show up. I'm like, alhamdulillah, man.
Alhamdulillah.
Bro, the big boys are here. Plus Yusuf and Khalil.
Yeah.
Let me finish. So, in Peaky Blinders, they wear these hats. You know, like what the golfers wear. They got like
Right. Yeah.
and they used to have these razor
They were
blades.
little flat
Wait.
things.
Joad used to wear one of those.
Yeah.
No. I was saying he's turning super brummy. So I was making a joke because this was filmed in Birmingham,
Oh,
and since this came out, all the brummies started wearing peaky hats.
And then at a slant as well, at an angle.
Yeah. And everyone
Naughty
started
angle.
dressing a bit more smart and that, putting on the fancy clothes.
Dude, I was wearing those flat caps before Peaky Blinders, alright?
You can't wear them now though.
I'm a trendsetter.
But if you wear them now though, you'll get accused of
Yeah.
that stuff.
that's you've got to leave it behind if you're a proper trend center. You gotta
What you
gotta move on and set something else.
Gotta break the stereotypes, man. That's what we're all about. That's where I hear down.
Is Khalil jumping on?
I don't know. I put the
He
yeah.
said in the chat, he said I'm here.
He's here.
I put the link in.
That's
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go in a minute, but
Yeah.
I don't want to go
Yeah.
before he jumps on.
Yeah. Come on, man. Yusuf wants an excuse to leave, so get up here. I'm joking.
Time. Drag your heels.
No, I've stayed later than I was going to. I'm waiting. He said he's in the backstage.
Why
Actually,
is it Yusuf
Yusuf,
always has
actually,
to go?
You're probably gonna scroll.
Yeah, I scrolled here.
He's-
Actually, let me pin it here. Let me here. Wait, I got
He's on. You just
He's
need
in the
to add him.
backstage.
He's in the backstage.
Oh man, I'm stupid.
Host noob.
All right.
I didn't scroll down.
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
didn't-
saying.
Guys, give me
He's
like
a StreamYard noob.
just give me like 15
Hello,
seconds.
man. Tell ya.
StreamYard noob. Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum.
alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I just had to
brothers.
face
What's up?
palm myself real quick. What's up, Kenny?
Face bomb.
I'm a complete noob at this thing, man.
No, don't worry, bro. We're all there at one point. You just got to
Might as well leave
acclimatize.
now.
You got to acclimatize. How you doing, Khalil?
Alhamdulillah. How are you guys?
Alhamdulillah. Look at
man.
that, mashallah, super beard.
Yeah.
That's it, though.
Jealous,
So
bro.
what's going on?
Mine's all,
Not much, man. I was just responding to my first response video, and then these guys showed up. I was like, "Oh, what's up?"
crashed the party.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Yep.
That's crazy,
Alhamdulillah.
man. By the way, Khalil, just so you know, this stream was partially inspired by you because I noticed you started streaming pretty late these last few nights. I started noticing that, and I was like, "Huh, really?" I was like, "Maybe I'll try that." You know, of course, I didn't think you guys were gonna show up.
Yeah. Me and Issa, we finished our live about an hour ago, and
Yeah.
I jumped on TikTok, edited another video that had to do with the debate that I had yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, bro. Like it was the opening statement heard around the world. Hold on, let me see.
Who did you debate?
I debated a Christian apologist, very aggressive Christian apologist on TikTok. His name is J Rob. And I went on to one of the
That sounds
lives.
familiar. Oh snap! That sounds familiar.
Not J. Robin. Not J. Robin.
Okay.
J. Rob. Yeah.
J-Bob.
Yeah. So I
It sounds like a proper out in the sticks in Texas kind of name.
Yeah, so I debated. I went on a live and I debated, or I challenged him to a debate on the Trinity, because he's very aggressive. He goes into Muslim rooms and starts talking about Allah's hands, and you know how they do.
Yeah,
So I was like, all right, let's do this. I jumped into a Christian live, and I was like, hey, J. Rob, everybody's telling like, hey, Khalil, you need to debate J. Rob. He'll whoop you and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went up to a live. I was like, hey, J. Rob, let's talk about the Trinity. Let's do a formal debate on the Trinity. You can pick the moderator, whatever. And we could do 10-minute openings. And I laid it out for him. He was like, yeah. And I was like, so when are you going to be ready? And he goes, yeah, I'll be ready like Thursday, Friday night if you want to. I was like, that's in 2 days. He goes, yeah, I got this. Okay, cool. So I got my debate or my opening statement together, wrote it out in like 15 minutes. And I provided 3 arguments against the logical possibility of the Trinity. First argument, obviously, the LPT. Second argument, I was arguing the aseity of the other 2 persons other than the Father. And then the third argument is I actually used Josh Rasmussen's argument of arbitrary limitations to debunk the Trinity with, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Did you mention it was Josh Rasmussen's?
Yeah. So after I did my opening statement, like the look on this guy's face and the words that came out of his mouth was just unbelievable. Let me know if you guys can hear this. So in conclusion, or end quote, so in conclusion, I would be curious to know what model of Trinitarianism J. Rob holds to, i.e. social, Latin, monarchical, or relative identity Trinitarianism. When that is put on the table, I would be able to bring out even more issues with his view on the Trinity within the specific schools of thought. Many of these views can entail inconsistencies when we attempt to align this view with the incarnation of Jesus Christ. Also, I would be interested which of the 7 theories of atonement he holds to, and do a mirror image back on his view of the Trinity. Problems on problems will arise further when we open the bag of J. Rob's belief system, and we will end up with more questions and inconsistencies than answers. If you don't believe me, just stick around for the rest of the debate, inshallah. If J. Rob is to show the possibility of the Trinity, he must resolve each of these problems while simultaneously not contradicting his own scripture, and he must not have issues that spill over to the incarnation or the atonement theory he holds to. Inshallah, we'll have some answers by the end of the debate. Thank you very much, and I'll concede the last minute and a half of my time.
MashaAllah, you're getting good with the.
Oh, wait, what was his response?
J-Rob,
What was his response?
It's coming up
he
now.
had about a minute and 45 seconds left. If you
What was the time for your
ready,
opening?
we can switch it around and
How
10
long did
minutes.
you have?
10 minutes. All right.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
All right.
Solid.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna drop down, and then as soon as you start talking, I'll go ahead and start the timer. All right, man.
Yeah, hey man, I appreciate y'all having me on here, and I guess I did not come prepared for this debate. I kind of feel like it was a switch. I thought we were going to really talk about, whether or not the Trinity is biblical. I guess that's my fault. I didn't really understand the confinements of this debate, but I was literally going to start up with great is the mystery of godliness.
So, right off the bat, he says,
"What the hell?
I didn't prepare for this.
Hold on.
It's a mystery."
I've never heard someone in a debate say, "I didn't come prepared for this debate." What the hell, man?
No, you know what? He's just he's used to a certain class of Muslim, maybe.
Wait, hold on.
The layman.
Did he? I don't know if I heard him correct. Did he say? I thought we were just going to talk about if the Trinity was biblical.
Yeah.
Wait. So what was the title of the debate? Just to be clear, what was the title?
Is God a Trinity?
Okay, yeah, there you go. That's not that's come on, man. That's
he
why
assumed
why would you limit that to the Bible?
Here's my thing, like Brother Yusuf, if you're going to debate somebody, what are you going to do to prepare for that debate?
You're going to think of everything that they could possibly say. You look at it like a chess game, don't you? You look at the title as an exclamation of the opening move. and then you work from that, and you go, well, if he moves here, I can do this, and if he does this, I can do this, and you're trying to think of every potential move that person can make, and then you've got to try to consider every potential move you can make to each one of their potential moves, and then so on and so forth for however many rounds.
If there was a possibility that there might be some content out on the internet on how this interlocutor normally debates.
I don't know, maybe like your channel or something.
So he had 2 days to prepare.
Before.
He didn't write an opening statement. He literally came on just to free flow it all. It was his first debate. I didn't know it was his first debate.
First debate ever?
The Holy Spirit
Ever?
was going to.
This is
Wait, hold on. Wait. Well, did he challenge you to a debate, or were people telling you?
I challenged him to a debate because people were telling me to go debate him because he was going to whoop my butt.
And
I was like, okay.
On what basis were they saying that though? Like, were they saying that because he was?
They were Christians, and they were just. And he's on TikTok.
He's
and
a Christian.
Just blah blah blah.
They were Christians.
He has discussions with people, and then he talks about Muhammad, peace be upon him, and then kicks him down off the stage. So I went up there. I was like, let's do a moderated debate. I'll let you pick the moderator. And I'll lay out all the circumstances, and I said, let's debate the Trinity. I said, I think the Trinity's impossible. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. He didn't think that I was going to come from a philosophical angle. He thought that I was just going to deny that the Trinity's in the Bible. No,
the bravado as well of not actually bothering to watch any of your videos to see. The bravado of not actually watching any of your videos to see the type of stuff.
That's called overconfidence. That's overconfidence on like 10 different levels, man. I mean, plus. Like I said, I didn't come prepared for this debate. So what did you prepare for?
Yeah, and then the first argument that he makes, he says the first thing that I was going to start off with is greatness is the mystery of God.
That's not an argument.
That's basically a big question mark. So my opening statement is just nobody knows.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine, but that's not an argument. That's appeal to mystery.
Once we got to the cross-examination, I asked him, I said, is it logically possible for God to be a different number of persons, another possible reality? And he was like, yeah, sure.
Can you send me the link? Or is it on your channel?
Yeah, it's on my channel. Yeah.
I actually always bring up this point because, there's some people on Clubhouse. I'm not going to name them at the moment, but there's some people on Clubhouse who are always like, not like they're talk with such confidence. Like, it's so obvious, man. Look at this. We have this verse here. We got that verse here. The only conclusion we can come up with is that. I'm like, wait, hold on. So question. So can there be a fourth person? Right? Because I mean, think of it this way. Because they're
stopping it.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're like, oh, well, hold on. The only conclusion we can come to is X, Y, and Z, which basically is an implication of it doesn't explicitly say this, but this is just the conclusion we've drawn. Okay, so if furthermore, I've asked this question before. I'm like, hold on. So at one point, look, Moses wasn't aware of three persons. Or I mean, I've heard a handful of people say he was, but most people would say no, he wasn't. Right? And he was. I mean, he had no.
Wait. Full stop. Yeah. Why aren't you playing with your beard like the rest of us?
Well, because I don't have as much to play with. I don't have as much.
You're gonna have to grow it, bro.
Come on, man. No.
You can join the Play with Your Beard club.
Yeah, I know. You know, I can. You know what? I'm in the stream right now. No, I'm joking. This is getting embarrassing. No. But my point is, like, Moses was not aware of a third person. He wasn't like he wasn't given a little caveat like, okay, so God is one, but there might be some things like there might be more later. Like he didn't have any. He thought he had it all. He thought he had it all. He had no reason to think more. So the question is, if he thought he had it all, and it turns out he didn't, well, what's to say that you don't have it? I mean, how do we know you have it all? How do we know you have it all? You think you have it all figured out based on what?
Maybe there's this progressive layering of extra persons that develops over centuries. And
but my point is that you Christians, you seem so sure about what you have, that you have it all, that you figured it all out. Okay, Moses thought he had it all. Moses thought he had it all figured out. How did he know that there were going to be two more persons to be added to the Trinity, or two more persons to the Godhead?
Yeah.
Well,
no, but the point that I was making is that going back to Josh Rasmussen's argument, I know, brother Yusuf, you're fully aware of that argument from arbitrary limitations.
Sorry, I was reading the comment. Say that again.
No, I was saying you're aware of Josh Rasmussen's argument for arbitrary limitations, correct?
So I wouldn't be able to reel it off the top of my head, but I have come across it briefly.
Yeah. So basically, what he's saying is that if something could be a different way in another possible world, it would be by definition contingent. So the necessary existence necessarily has to be unlimited in its attributes, because if it was limited, then it would beg the question for what's the explanation on why it's limited? Is it just arbitrarily limited? So what I did was I said, okay, you as a Christian believe that there's a multiplicity of persons within the being of God. So it's possible, if not necessary, that the persons are are three, that there's a multiplicity of persons. Now, is it possible for God to exist as 5 persons or 769 persons in another possible reality? If you say yes, then by definition, it's contingent. And if you say no, then what's the logical contradiction in it being a different number of persons?
Yeah,
if there's no logical contradiction, then it seems as if
Not
like
just
now
that, but
it's just
not just that, but where do we get
arbitrarily
that from?
limited. It's just arbitrarily limited to 3.
Well, this is the thing. Every time you sort of speak to them, when Christians speak to Muslims, they disequip themselves to give dawah to polytheists, like the Hindus. When they talk to Hindus, however, they become Muslim all of a sudden. And it's all about like pure bloody monotheism.
Oh,
And
Jawad's gone.
yeah, he keeps losing his signal. Anyway, I've overstayed
Yeah,
an
no
extra
problem.
half an hour of what I intended to.
Yeah.
Go.
If you
And,
want some entertainment, watch the rest of the debate, inshallah.
Yeah,
That's not
well,
entertaining. I mean, bro, that was 10 seconds of the debate. If that was just 10 seconds,
That's all you need to watch, honestly. But
Fair
I
enough.
mean, it's when it gets to the cross examination, it's very, very interesting.
like when I can't sleep at
He even
night.
mentions, like in my notes in his opening statement, he mentioned he said Daniel 7:13 actually talks about 2 separate beings, and I'm like, I thought I was debating a Trinitarian. And he was like,
Yeah, you know.
hey, there's my doppelganger.
Yeah, well.
Oh yeah, he does look a little bit.
It actually, Hamza on Hamza's Den had to bring both of us up on stage to resolve that issue, because there was multiple people
Wait,
thinking
when
that
was
I
that?
was him.
Wait, when was that?
No, that was a while ago now.
Last
Maybe.
year sometime.
Oh, okay, I don't-
But they had to bring both of us up on stage at the same time to show that we're not numerically identical.
I feel like that's a race thing. I feel like non-white people would see that as a thing, but you don't look alike at all.
I'm like, he didn't believe you. Like he needed to see both of you guys. Like
Yeah, actually, Jake called me because Jake was on the stream, and he says you need to come to Hamza's Den and come on stage, because there's people in the chat that think you are Ben and Ben is you. I was like, oh,
wait,
okay.
wait, did they actually think you were the same person, or was it like in a Trinitarian sense? Like you're different persons, but one being or one essence, whatever the hell they say.
Oh, no, was that not like, was there not someone who was a non-Muslim on the stream?
I would hope that was a non-Muslim. Who, if
Eventually there was, yeah. I hung out for like 20 minutes. I didn't say much.
Unless this was 2 separate occasions, but my memory was that there was someone on the stream who was a non-Muslim, and it was the voice, and people were saying it sounds like Khalil, and then we had to get you on to talk at the same time with this person because of the voice.
That was another occurrence. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a different thing. Yeah. Yeah. It was a guy that he didn't have his camera on, and everybody thought he sounded like me. Jake even sent me like voice clips of the guy's voice. I was like, it doesn't sound anything like me. He's like, yeah, I don't think it does either, but people do.
I mean, you two don't look a lot. I mean, well, I don't see it. I don't see it.
No, it's just a white man with a beard, isn't it, man?
I mean, sure, yeah.
I look like Khalil.
There can only be one of those, right?
You know how like to all Chinese people, white people look alike, and from that perspective, like maybe there's some common features, but like.
And on that note, Yusuf is departing. Well, it's been a pleasure, guys.
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate you joining, man. That means the world to me, man.
No, barakallahu fik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
If you guys actually want to see, what happened was I was actually responding. Khalil, actually, no, Jawad, you were here. I was actually responding to I was just commenting on my first response video. You know, just because this was a journey to make this response video, guys. This was like it almost didn't happen.
You said
Sorry?
someone gave you advice. Who gave you advice? Shout him out.
Should I say this publicly? I don't know if I should or shouldn't.
How is it a bad thing? Is it not?
It's not a bad thing, but I'd rather what do you call it? Trust me, I've learned in the past that sometimes saying less is better. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
It's just But anyway,
By that, of course, you could understand that diseases spread. And Muhammad made this amazing suggestion that you should not.
So Khalilullah, in case, so did you ever see this video, by the way?
No.
Okay, so just in a nutshell, basically, he's making the argument that the Prophet, peace be upon him, wasn't aware of the existence of diseases, infectious diseases, and he quotes a couple of hadith that to try to prove that claim. And so what I did was I used some of the same hadith he quotes, and I just underlined a bit of the hadith where he actually gives the explanation of what he meant by that. Right? He explained that every affliction is ultimately from Allah. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is the equivalent of saying, no one can harm me. No one can harm me. All harm and blessings only come from Allah. Right? So that's what that means. But he took that to mean that the Prophet is saying that diseases don't exist at all. That they don't exist at all. Right? And as ridiculous as that sounds, but I actually have some fun with this.
Well, I appreciate that you had it paused at that very second because I took my phone and took a picture, and that's going to be my new Clubhouse photo.
Is that actually? I didn't plan that. That's actually not the best one. Oh, watch this.
Not go there because you could contract the disease, and you should not leave that place because you could spread the disease. But in that case, Muhammad doesn't actually say what Muslim apologists today want us to think, he said. Narrated by Aisha, I asked Allah's apostle about the plague. He told me that it was a punishment sent by Allah on whom he wished, and Allah made it a source of mercy for the believers. For if one in the time of a plague stays in his country patiently, hoping for Allah's reward, and believing that nothing will befall him except what Allah has written for him, he will get the reward of a martyr.
The Prophet, peace be upon him, providing theological explanations for diseases is besides the point. The point is, he clearly believed that diseases exist. And moreover, here's an additional hadith where the Prophet, peace be upon him, informed people that they should run away from the leper. So it's very clear, guys, that the Prophet was fully aware that diseases exist. So, come on, guys, really? To help get your head around this, here's an example. Me and Apus both live in the United States, where gun laws are a controversial issue. Now, one argument that some people put forward is, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Now, I'm sure Apus's response would be, no, guns kill people all the time. What are you talking about? These people are not aware that guns kill people. And as I said before, I was not planning on doing this initially. I mean, heck, I could be doing so many other things over my winter break. But yallah, sometimes you got to roll with the punches. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
MashaAllah. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Alhamdulillah. I actually spent about 15 minutes looking for that clip with the cat, with the
VR headset.
Yeah, because that's actually what I was doing for most of my winter break.
Have you spent any time in the metaverse?
Oh, are you kidding me? A ton, man. I've spent a lot of time at the virtual.
I haven't done it once.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. The last month, I'm kind of on a break from the metaverse. I haven't been on there for a month. Not because I didn't like it, because I've just been studying. I had my finals exams like a week and a half ago. I might get back to it tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow.
How'd that go?
Yeah, because they have a virtual speakers corner every Saturday, and so I might get back to that tomorrow if I get the chance. But yeah, I've seen shahadas, people giving shahadas in the metaverse. Alhamdulillah, as crazy as that sounds. And we've had some. If you go, there's a YouTube channel. They have a YouTube channel, VR Dawa. You can actually find the recorded conversations there. You can actually find one of mine where I actually spoke with an ex-Muslim on VR. And this guy, and in a nutshell, I asked him if 1 + 1 can ever not equal 2, and he said yes. So, man. And then, what's funny? He then asked me my qualifications in math. He asked me for my qualifications in math. Now, I've taken 5 college math classes. Okay, from calculus 1, 2, 3, multivariable calculus, linear algebra, differential equations. I can go on, but I mean,
English, please.
I know, right? But I mean, it's just like, I mean, I had to flat. I mean, he doesn't know what 1 + 1 equals, and he's asking me what I know about math. So I mean, I'm gonna flex a little, just a little.
Are you sure he was asking you about math or meth? I think it makes more sense.
That's a good one.
But yeah, I'd like to eventually get myself a headset so I can go to the metaverse. I hear they have a masjid. I hear they have a masjid out there too.
No, that's where it is actually. So you actually don't need a headset technically. If you have a PC with working internet, you can actually go in there. It's
I'm on a laptop right now.
That's wait. The thing is, it doesn't work on Mac. I don't know why. It's weird. But I
got an HP with a Ryzen 7.
I think it should work on there. I can send you a link if you like.
Obviously.
I can here I can actually find it right now if I can put it in the chat if you guys like. You can I know a lot of people like you guys know remember the brother Guga who passed away, rahimullah, not too long ago. He actually was in the metaverse. I spent a lot of time with him there, and he was on a laptop. He didn't have a VR headset, and a lot of people don't go in there on VR headsets. I do personally, but here, let me try. Hang on. What was it called? It was called. It's a place called Altspace VR. Altspace VR. Here, I can put this link in the chat. Here we go. Perfect. Here they have it pretty much for. Here we go. Here, I'll go ahead and put this in the chat. Oopsie, Joad keeps popping out.
Sorry, I keep minimizing my window on my phone.
Here, so I put this link in the room chat. If you guys, the thing is, see, I'll check it out. It works. I have an Oculus, that's why I'm able to do it. On Mac, I don't know if it works. The last I checked, I mean, this was like 2 months ago, but it couldn't get it to work on Mac. They said they were still working on that. I know it works on PC. I've seen people do it on PC, but no, you don't need a headset or anything. You just need as far as I'm aware, if you have a PC with a good internet connection, then you're chilling.
The Oculus is just Android, isn't it? It's just
No, it's Facebook. It's made by Facebook.
But the operating system of the actual thing is actually Android Studio. I know because the development thing. I've looked into developing for it. So essentially, it's a custom Android operating system. That's how it works. But yeah, Facebook own it.
Interesting.
So that's probably why it doesn't work on Mac, right? On Apple, because
maybe. Yeah. That would make sense. Well, I mean, okay.
I mean,
all the Apple fanboys now are crying.
But you're always surprised though. But
here's the bad boy that.
Oh no! Just when you're flexing in it, you got to do that.
But what?
Whoops! I'm sorry. I think your Android phone is messing up the stream, man. It's messing up your Android is messing up the stream.
Wow, mashallah.
Oh man, no. Oh, okay. Anyway.
No. See, this isn't an iPhone. You won't breathe on it improperly, and the screen breaks.
Yeah, bloody hell.
You people are disgusting. You people disgust me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm sorry. I'm abusing my power, as you can see. Well, but here's the thing, though. The Metaverse Dawah. So they actually built. So they built a virtual masjid next to the masjid. Literally, as weird as it sounds in VR, next to the masjid, they actually have just so you guys know, the speaker's corner there, it looks nothing like the real speaker's corner in real life. But that's beside the point.
I've seen Hamza stuff. Like he's on there.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, maybe I won't do it tonight, but maybe another night. I don't know when. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe the day after tomorrow. I don't know. Like this is complete freestyle. One of these nights, I might respond to, or I might react to that conversation. I'll show you guys that conversation. I'll play it here. And because that was hilarious. I mean,
I love reactions. I love reactions.
Was that not funny? 1 + 1 may not equal 2, but he's asking me about math. He's asking me what my qualifications are in math. Oh, yeah, mashallah. Okay.
Yeah.
He's such a retarded on so many levels.
But I remember the first thing I thought of when I went to that place. I'm like, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not like picky and all. I don't mean to nitpick, but like this doesn't look a lot like Speaker's Corner. It's like it's the VR world, man. You can't be picky, you know. But anyways, and they also not only have a masjid, they also have what's nice even in that. So this is gonna sound weird. You go to the VR, you go to the masjid. Inside the masjid, they have screens where you can actually play YouTube videos. As crazy as that sounds, I'm okay. Imagine you go to your masjid right now, local masjid.
Meta.
And so imagine you go to your masjid, your big masjid. At the very like where the imam is supposed to speak, a screen can pop up and will play dawah videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they would do. And they also have a big information center where actually you guys know Yemeni brother Muhammad Abdul Razak, brother Yemeni. He was on the Hamza's Den today. He actually has given aqidah sessions and a number of different sessions. They also have classes in Arabic there as well. Like it's a complete like they have a schedule like this day, these days of the week they have aqidah sessions. These days they have Arabic classes. It's a full blown like masjid. The only difference is you can't pray there because you got to pray your salah in real life. You know.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Although I did hear some people are thinking of doing virtual Hajj, but I don't think that would count. That would be cool though. No, I'm just joking. But anyway,
Not the same experience.
I'd prefer Hajj in real life, to be honest. But you know,
I think there's a little bit of risque thing when you're kind of dealing with like actions of ibadah. I think we should keep it away from that. My personal opinion. I'm not giving a fatwa or anything. I'm just saying, like, I think it wouldn't be wise to kind of start touching things of actions of ibadah in general, including like Hajj and stuff like that. But I think it's an excellent thing in the sense that you can have, because it's literally global, you can have lessons going every day from by people like
they do. That's the thing. That's
all day, every day, from like people from all over the world. Right. So when we're sleeping, you guys are still up. You know, it's still Friday for you guys. I mean, practically speaking, it's still Friday.
No, it's Saturday, right? It's 12:40.
Yeah, no. I mean, technically it is, but I mean, you guys haven't slept. I just woke up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's 3:42 a.m. for me right now. I normally stay up giving dawah till about 6 a.m.
When do you sleep?
I sleep from 6 to about 12. Then get up, and then I go to Sapiens Institute and listen to Jake's courses on the Trinity, and then I eat dinner, and then I get on dawah. And
I'm actually I mean, there's a couple of books I want to read, but I'm also going to be inshallah taking advantage of some of those courses on Sapiens this summer, right? At summer vacation, man. What else am I going to be doing? Come on, man. What better time? You know, I'll be honest. I was quite shocked when I saw how many courses there were. Like, I see Islamic history, I see the Trinity. I see. There's even one just about how to debate. I was like, wow. They haven't left a single stone unturned. Is that they say it? Like, you know, they've covered everything. No,
they're doing a really important work.
They've done a huge service for us.
Yeah, 100%. Because we don't have guidance on that type of thing. Us laymen, yeah. You know, I personally haven't got a clue and how to speak to people and you know, what's appropriate to say and what's not appropriate to say in that context, right? When you're having a general conversation, a chit chat is different. But it's very important that, you know, dawah is not just a general chit chat. You're there doing a job, and you should do it right. I find I just wanted to say something to Khalilullah. Like, I find that a lot of your stuff is specific about a particular point. Do you find, you know, a certain set of points or a certain approach, right? And I think that is because it's what appealed to you when you became a Muslim. Do you find that situations where you need to change that, and you need to kind of, because you're talking to a different type of person?
Yeah, so it all depends. Like, I think you're specifically talking about how I speak with atheists because I used to be an atheist. So it all depends on where I start from. Like, I just start understanding their epistemology, because if we jump into cosmological arguments or ontological arguments, or if we start talking about Islam, like, I refuse to speak to an atheist about the Quran or Islam. And that may seem counterintuitive, but here's the thing. If I told you that a magical unicorn came into my house and took a poop on my couch, why are we going to talk about why it did that without establishing first that there's a freaking unicorn? If there's a unicorn, then we can have that conversation. But why are we talking about what something does that you don't believe exists? Let's have the fundamental conversation. But before we can even get to that, I need to see what criteria you use to investigate claims with. If you're an empiricist, I got to get rid of that first before we can move forward, because all the points that I'm going to make are going to be meaningless to you because you require empirical data. The question is, if you think that the only rational, reasonable beliefs that you can hold is with empirical data, then what's the empirical data for that statement right there that you believe in? You won't have any. It's a self-refuting position.
It's kind of like saying, isn't that kind of like saying there's no such thing as a true statement?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so my follow-up is like, don't you feel like sometimes certain people require, even though fundamentally they have the same problem that you're addressing, sometimes different things need to be said to them in a different way in order to get them to start having that conversation? Or do you kind of just kind of bully them into it, like steamroll them into that position, of that starting position? Like, for example, in some cases, you might have a person who, is reluctant to go to that starting position until you say something like an argument about how their morality is flawed or baseless, or another person might want to hear something else before it opens them up.
I stay in my lane of specialties, and I try and widen my range of specialties as I study more and more. But here's my take on morality. Atheists have a subjective moral standard. Whatever they think is the best is what they go with. We as Muslims believe in an objective moral standard. But put your mind into the atheist mind. They believe that we have a subjective opinion that there's an objective standard. So it's my opinion versus their opinion. It's pointless. Plus, they don't even believe in God.
You know something, actually, today, because Yusuf was on here earlier, today, during the warm-up for the arena, not the arena itself, the warm-up, Hamza was on, and then Yusuf was on, and I went on just to have a little fun with this one guy. He says I think he said he was an ex-Muslim. He turned out to be 16 years old, which we didn't know at that time. He eventually admitted it, but he was kicked out. Right? We didn't know that at the time, obviously. It's funny how we found out, because he was arguing against the age of Aisha. As you know, I know. Shocker, right? Shocker, right? Shocker. What happened was I asked him straight. Like, Yusuf and Hamza were handling it well. Don't get me wrong, but I just asked him straight. Like, guys, I'm sick of this. I'm just gonna ask him straight. What's the objective age of marriage? And then after about the 8th time, maybe not 8th time, but I asked him like more than once, and he eventually said 20. Believe it or not, he said the objective age of marriage is 20. But what's funny is, earlier in that conversation, before I was there, he appealed to the age of 18. He said, you know what? Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said this. It's on video. He said he could not be a prophet because today you're only allowed to get married at the age of 18.
So if you were to ask him, then if somebody has relations with a woman prior to 20 years old, what does that mean?
I'll tell you what I asked him. I asked him directly. Okay, hold on. If an 18-year-old today gets married, I didn't even say has relations. I said gets married. If an 18-year-old gets married, is that pedophilia? And then somehow, I forget what his excuse was. No, 16. I was like, okay, 16, fine. Okay. If a 16-year-old gets married today, is that pedophilia? He said yes. And I'm like, okay, good. So,
So did he ever consult his grandparents on what
I don't
age
know,
they
but and then
got
I don't.
married?
I forget, and then I
And then
forget
the
what
names
he
he's
said
going to
next.
call his grandfather because of that.
And then I forget what he said next. But then eventually, like within the next 30 seconds, he admits that he himself is 16 years old. And so, I mean, I wasn't showing myself. I just saw my picture. I swear to God, I was about to say that. I'm like, I facepalm myself so hard. I'm like, dude, you're 16 years old. You're not even old enough to be on the stream, and you're talking about the age of Aisha. Get out of here, man. And then his whole, you know, it's just. Here's the funny thing though. The first time I asked him, because remember I said like the third or fourth time he answered the question. The first time he tried to answer the question of what's the objective age of marriage, the first words out of his mouth were, "I think," and I stopped him. I stopped him right there. I'm like, bro, stop. I didn't ask what you think. I asked for objective truth. What's the objective age of marriage? And then eventually when he said 20, I mean, the Hamza and Yusuf asked him a question after that. So I was gonna ask him, where do you base that off of? All right, and that would mean if that's objectively true, that would mean that you know more than literally every Western nation on the face of this earth. They're all pedophile. We're all everyone's a pedophile in that case.
Well, you know what this tells me? This like last 5-10 minutes of discussion is like there's a valid time to use the moral argument, and there's an invalid. And the example that Khalil said was you rightly, a kind of nullifier to the argument to say, well, if we're using that to get them to a discussion about the foundations of their belief, then it's a problem. But if we're using it to kind of point out their inconsistency of criticism to Islam, then it's valid.
No,
right?
Well, no, as an atheist, if I one of the things that amuses me so much is when I see atheists making these kind of arguments. Because Khalilullah, you said it yourself. Where the hell do you get your morality from? What your what California state law? Get out of here, man. You know what's the best part though? That actually wasn't the first argument he brought up. That was the second argument. You guys want to know what the first argument was?
I'm assuming that the first one that he brought was what he thought was the best one, right?
I suppose.
I mean, I would assume so. That's normally what people do.
You want to know what it was?
Argument first.
Take a guess.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. It was emotional.
It was emotional. Okay. Quran 434.
It wasn't a Quran verse.
Apostasy.
Slavery.
Oh right. Yeah. Of course.
Slavery.
Oh, why did I miss that?
The first words out of his mouth were, "I don't believe in slavery." And what's funny is Hamza had the reason why he had made that the reason why he was even giving these arguments in the first place, or giving these, I mean, they're not arguments, giving these supposed arguments, whereas Hamza had made the claim that he makes all the time, which I also make. There are zero intellectual reasons for leaving Islam, right? And so he was like, "The floor is yours. I'd love you to prove me wrong." First thing out of his mouth, slavery, and then 15 seconds later, Aisha.
Emotional arguments.
Yeah, man, it's emotion.
Plus what I find most telling about, especially the Aisha argument, and most likely Khalil would be able to validate or invalidate this, is like sincere people don't even bat an eye at it.
You know, it's actually funny. One of my favorite conversations I ever had, which I have screenshotted, I think I have screenshotted if I'm not mistaken, with a Christian on Clubhouse a long time ago was.
Wait.
This woman, I'm not going to say who she is, but she's a woman on Clubhouse who's constantly insulting Islam. Like she's one, like those people who are like all big and tough when they're the mods, but then when they're not the mods, they're all calm and peaceful, and it's two-faced. This person basically in the back channel was don't I know what you're
talking about.
Yep. Don't this anyway. Basically what happened was this person in the back channel was trying to prove that Muhammad, peace be upon him, was immoral because he broke the morals of his society. And I was like, everyone knows that. He destroyed their idols. He did he changed their way of life. No dirt he went against his society, right? And then she basically was trying to go, well, no, because he basically her argument was that, you know what, he was I'm not going to repeat the word, but that P word, because their morals were this. She was trying to show that the time they got married was abnormal for the time, which we all know it wasn't. But she was trying to show that even at that time, that age was young. So, but I didn't even bother refuting that. Because I basically told her, I'm like, wait, hold on. So your argument is that the Prophet, peace be upon him,
No evidence for that.
broke the societal norms of his society. If that's your argument, then alhamdulillah, he destroyed their idols. He ended many of their practices. Alhamdulillah, I have absolutely no issue with that. Right now,
Yeah.
if
He
you're
immorally stopped the burying of
there you go.
girls.
That's one of many examples, right? And so I'm like, okay, so if your argument is that he rebelled against that society, then yeah, alhamdulillah, I'm proud of that. I'm proud to say that, right? And then she goes, but then I kept asking her, because what she was saying was, no, what he was doing was worse. She countered saying, no, what he was doing was worse. And then I asked her, okay, why is that objectively true? Why is that? What standard are you? Keep in mind, this person's a Christian, right? I was like, what standard are you using? She wouldn't answer, ignoring that question. I'm like, why is that objectively true? Why is it that what he was doing was objectively worse than what they were doing? And we all know what the pagans were doing, right? And she's like, no, what he was doing was worse. And I'm like, okay, two things. One, why is that objectively true? And secondly, you're basing your argument, your morals, on a pagan society. You're basing your judgment on a pagan society. And she goes, no, he was doing worse in the pagan society. I'm like, okay, why is that objectively true? Now, I'm sure you'd prefer a society. I'm sure you'd prefer all the other stuff that society came with, like the idols and the burying your daughters and all that other
Christmas
stuff.
trees and all kinds of stuff.
I don't know, maybe. It's a Christian, so she'd probably like that. But when it comes to marriage, you're willing to defend the pagans. But what about all the other stuff? Are you going to defend their idols too? Be consistent, right? Oh, yeah, I mean, that was all right. Yeah, he got rid of their idols. He got rid of the burying their daughters. Like, that was all right. But I mean, the marriage thing, no. It's like, all right, man, get out of here, man. Come on. And the very last message, from what I recall, of her, I sent her, because she had responded back saying he was worse than the pagans. I just kept repeating the question. Why is that objectively true? What are you basing that off of? I personally think that the Arabian Peninsula was a lot better after the Prophet Muhammad came. I personally think that. You may not think that because I can kind of see why. The pagan society at the time wasn't really a competition with the Christian world, which I agree. The pagan society at the time, one pagan society against another pagan society, it's like, it's not much competition, right? But then when you have the Muslims, true monotheism come around, that's a real threat to your religion. I get that. True monotheism, true, sound, logical, doctrines, no need to appeal to mystery, all that stuff, So, I understand why you'd prefer the previous society, but, no one cares. No one cares what you think. Just get out of here. But anyway, I get the feeling you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
maybe like two different people right now that I'm thinking of. One was it anybody that messaged us both in the back channel?
No, not that person. No,
okay, so now I've eliminated one person.
Okay, yeah. Basically, this. Okay, wait, hold on. This person is named after a woman in the Bible. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm not. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give any names. I can think of two or three other people that I can imagine you like guessing, but this person is named after a woman in the Bible. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, here I'll put it in the. I'm going to put it in the back in the private chat. Here, watch.
Yep.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, no, I just typed it. Anyway.
No, I'm saying I know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly
that was fun. That was fun. And like I said, these are the two-faced people who, when I see them as, I've seen this person, many other. This person's not special, by the way. Just to be clear, this person's not special. I see this all the time. People go acting all big and tough and strong. No, your prophet this, your religion that, this and that. You're like, and then all of a sudden, when they're not the mods, I gotta hold back a bit. I gotta listen. I gotta actually respond to the arguments being made. No waffling,
right?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite time. Actually, there's someone else named after this. Actually, I'm not gonna hear much. This person, Khalilullah. This person.
Yep.
This person recently. You know what happened? I'm putting in the back channel, guys, because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Just anyway, I'd rather not. This person recently had made a claim about an Arabic word, so I asked her simply, "Okay, what does this word mean?" She answered the question. She answered, and I said,
Hold on. Let me guess the Arabic word. Hold on. Let me guess the Arabic word. Nikah.
No. That's a good guess, but no.
Okay.
This person made had made an argument that a certain verse meant this. Sorry, a certain word meant this, and asked, okay. And she's asked, okay, what does this word mean? She goes blank. I'm not going to repeat it, but she says blank. And then I go, okay, who told you that? And the first thing she did was start asking me questions of what I thought it meant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, hold on. So listen. You made the claim. Answer the question now. Evidence, please. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she kicked me out for asking for because I refused to answer her questions because she still hasn't given evidence. When you make a claim, that burden of proof is on you.
Yeah.
I kept saying, look, I didn't ask you to ask. She kept saying, oh well, okay. I'm like, okay, hold on. What does this word mean? This. Okay, who told you that? Well, what do you think? No, it doesn't matter what I think. I'm asking you. You made the claim. I didn't ask you to ask me a question. I asked you for evidence. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times I have to see that. Like, dude, I didn't ask you to ask me a question. Oh man, you're scared of the argument. I'm like, I'm asking for evidence. I'm so scared. I want evidence. Anyway, BS. This is complete.
There's a difference between asking questions to kind of get more detail on what is being meant by the initial question.
Well, no, if you're going to make an argument against my religion and I ask you for evidence, you should be willing to give that right there.
Then right. No, so I was defining the other scenario first, but you're right. So the second scenario would be in your situation. It was like, oh, I'm going to ask questions to move on, and you were pinning her to the wall, to quote Hamza. Yeah, you were basically saying no. You got a whole bunch of presuppositions. You got a whole bunch of kind of ideas based on this presupposition, right, of a definition of a word. So if we don't discuss that, then, or if we won't know whether your follow-on presuppositions are valid or not. So it's important that we stick to that, right? And then the other scenario is, no, I'm just going to be evasive, right? So I think it's it's an observation I was making, because sometimes we do it right, us the dais do it, but we do it for a different cause or a different reason.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's our intention that's most important, but yeah.
Interesting.
I will say this though. My time on Clubhouse for the past year has definitely, I would compare it kind of like to the COVID vaccine. It's gonna, what does the COVID vaccine do? It gets you a little bit sick for a day or two, but then down the line, it helps you out. It protects you for a long time down the line. It prepares you down the line, right? My time on Clubhouse, I have a year ago, I would have never had the confidence to start a YouTube channel. After all the stuff I've dealt with on Clubhouse, I'm like, this stuff ain't that bad. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, I knew it was bad.
I need to get on it. I think I need to get on it because
I think I need to start seeing you brothers on TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, see, that TikTok is a whole other world. It's just
I don't like the platform, to be honest. I don't know whether this says more about myself than it does others. But I'm not. I no longer, my Facebook account is inactive. I don't have Insta. I don't have TikTok. The only thing I have is YouTube. And I think
I'm on Facebook as well.
One of the reasons is probably because I don't want to. I don't want a medium of distraction for myself.
Speaking of Facebook,
and TikTok is so haram. It's insane how bad it is.
It depends. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. TikTok, the algorithm by which TikTok works depends on how long you watch certain videos. If you watch certain videos longer, those types of videos will show up. So when you have Muslim brothers saying, well, I don't have TikTok because every other video is a half-naked girl, then my response is, stop watching the videos then.
That's what I'm saying. It probably says more about me.
My TikTok has nothing but Muslim stuff, Christian stuff, in like First Amendment audits, because that's what I'd like to do. Is I want to eventually go out with a camera and go to like City Hall or a police station or a post office with a camera, and then have the cops called on me, and they come and I'll be like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, it's funny, because most of my videos were that as well. Like, like cop interactions where they're being filmed or dawah stuff. But I honestly felt like there were sometimes when they just thrown in a random ad or something like that was kind of a bit risque. I was like, what the hell's this? But you're probably right that I probably end up lingering a bit too long, and then it becomes all right, he liked this type, now throw him in there. Deep end.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't want to be at the mercy of some algorithm that defines how long, whether I want to watch something based on how long I lingered on there. I could have put my phone down. I'm making excuses now, I could have put my phone down and let it run, or something. Yeah, that's my excuse. So the point is that, like, I don't want to be at the mercy of an algorithm. And with YouTube, there is a feed thing, but I never look at it ever. I just go to my.
To be honest, I don't want to overwhelm myself. Like I'm already back, because the thing is, I actually am fairly active on Facebook. I mean, Facebook is where, because I run a couple of Facebook pages, which I can't publicly disclose. The thing is, that's actually where I got. So if you guys saw one of my previous streams, is where I did embarrassing missionary claims. I basically just went through, which I'm going to be doing, by the way, on Sunday again. On Sunday, inshallah, at 11 a.m. my time. So 11 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. I'll be going through another list of terrible missionary, embarrassing is the word, embarrassing.
Was you teamed up with someone, or was that someone else's channel? Were you teamed up with someone when you were doing that?
No, those are just some brothers who came on. I mean, I always say anyone's welcome to come on, and
it was good. I liked it.
Yeah. I had Mustafa on, Brother Mustafa outside, Brother Khudur, a few other people from Clubhouse come on. It was really nice. But yeah, we responded to some. That's a complete crapshoot. By the way, we're not responding to anything crazy. We're just. I found some hilarious statements by missionaries online. My favorite one was the one where it's Muslims have a desert spirit and they cause the forests to go away, whereas the Christians are the ones who bring the greenery and the forest back. As weird as that sounds, right? As it's
okie dokie.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, my lawn, I'm not gonna lie, my lawn's a little bit on the yellow side, but anyway, now I know why.
Desert spirit in it.
Now I know why. But no, the thing is, I take a lot of screenshots on Facebook. I take like 3 or 4 screenshots of terrible arguments a day. So I've got a whole treasure trove of screenshots I can utilize. So inshallah, I plan on going through a handful. Maybe I went through 12 within an hour and a half, or not even an hour and a half, like an hour maybe the other day. So I'll be doing it again, inshallah, on Sunday. You guys are obviously welcome to come and tune in and join if you guys would like.
Sorry, what time?
11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 7 p.m. British time. 7 p.m.
On Sunday, yeah.
Sunday, yeah, inshallah. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I was actually planning on doing it today, but there were issues. Just family stuff. You got them too. You got them too.
So to just end a closing statement on TikTok. If you are looking to build your YouTube channel, TikTok, the following on TikTok is so much easier. If you came over to TikTok, I could get you 1,000 followers within less than a week.
Really? That fast?
Yes. And then you bring them over. Yeah, I've had to create secondary accounts to where I literally create an account and I'm like, hey, everybody follow me. And like people have come on and like Brother Isa, who I do my stream with. Like he had like 1,000, maybe 1,200 followers. And now me and him have been teaming up.
Yeah.
And we've been doing YouTube, and we've been doing. He's come on Clubhouse. He's got over 6K. He's actually got more followers on TikTok than I do.
Oh wow!
It's because he streams a lot more than I do now. But well, back when a few weeks
I
ago.
suppose maybe like all those YouTube shorts I've done, maybe those can easily be put on TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
easy stuff. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, you upload those videos within a week, you're able to go live and jump on other people's lives, and it's just the same as like Clubhouse or here on YouTube if somebody was to come up and argue with us. But I've literally had like up to 2,000 people watching my live at the same time with barely any effort.
Really?
That's why I'm saying it's beneficial if you keep away from the haram and you focus on the dawah.
You're supposed to do that anyway. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's some people, it's jihad. It's a struggle.
Oh yeah.
So
100%.
So if you're able to have the self motivation and self discipline to only stick to the dawah. Like when I jump on there, I don't go to my For You page. I go to see who's live. Is Brother Dawood live? Is Issa live? Is this Shadow Boxer Christian chick live? Like, and I will just look to see who's live, and I'll jump on their live. That's all that I deal with on TikTok.
How do you deal with being a content creator and being a user of the platform and balancing between the two? A question for both of you.
What do you mean a user on the platform? So being a content creator of the platform?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So how do you balance, like, I guess it's a question about discipline and about like splitting your time and kind of how do you balance between, because I know that there'll be a certain amount of like maybe research that you would do as a user to see let's say you're going to have a debate with somebody and you want to see what their content is saying about.
It depends who you're talking to. So, for example, if you notice all the YouTube shorts I do, I mean, up until this point, I might stop doing that. But most of the shorts you can see thus far have been just screenshots of terrible, embarrassing missionary claims on Facebook to the point where anyone with half a brain could respond. Very easy, very stupid arguments. I just do it for fun, honestly. I mean, as a college student,
more point of ridicule than anything else. Look how idiot.
Yeah. But no. But the thing is, though, one thing I've learned is even the stupidest of statements can be turned into very educational, like as an educational opportunity, right? Someone says something really stupid about Islam. It's very easy. It's a lot easier than you think to turn that into something educational, right? Whether it's about Jesus, whether it's about Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, whether it's about the Quran. People make stupid arguments, but a stupid argument can easily be utilized to turn into something educational.
Just reiterate what it actually says, what's being
misrepresented. And not just that, but also another thing, like YouTube Shorts. Like, here's the thing: at one point, like I made that that response video that I showed earlier that we played through. I made that during my winter break because that was my first time ever making one. It took me a little while to make it. The next one I made was during my spring break, if I'm not mistaken, right? But then again, because I was still getting used to it. Now I think I'd be able to get one done in a day easily. And plus, the YouTube Shorts, I started making those because I was able to easily make one of those within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? I'm sitting in my car waiting for class. I'm sitting outside, so in terms of balancing, it depends what kind of content you're doing, what you're, who you're responding to, what kind of videos. Is it a short, the response video? What are you responding to? Are you responding to a big, because some things do require a lot of research. Like the first response video I did, that took a decent amount of research. I spent a couple hours just researching all the sources and everything before I even started editing, before I started recording anything. Right. But for the YouTube Shorts where I just responded, or even the one you guys know, I'm not going to say the YouTube channel, but if you guys see my two most recent shorts, I respond to a certain YouTube channel, Christian YouTube channel, where he makes some arguments against Islam. That didn't take any research at all.
Sorry, I take it back. The second one, I looked something up once. I looked one thing up just to be sure. But those things were very easy. I literally made those. I made both of those within 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
My saving grace for researching other people on YouTube.
Yeah.
I love the button to where you can speed it up, and you can watch like speed it up to 1.25, or if you can keep up, you can put it at 1.5, and like you'll be able to finish an hour and a half discussion in like 40 minutes.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
That's what I really like about
it.
It's unique to each person. What your schedule is, what content you're making, what you're responding to, what's needed to make that content. Obviously, making a YouTube short is not gonna be the same as making an edited full response video. Or even some of the YouTube shorts I made, I actually edited a little bit, not too much, but a little bit, just to make them, so there's a number of like it's one shoe doesn't fit all. I would say,
Okay, thanks for the answer.
Yeah, no problem at all. But anyway, I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up there. I think
I was going to say I've got a bounce.
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up there.
Do you have an intro for your YouTube channel?
I don't actually. I don't. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Let's work on that. I have Adobe products
Oh,
on
really?
my computer, and I have for example, my if you've seen the intro to my YouTube video,
I have.
YouTube channel. I made that, so I can
Oh,
make one.
wow, really?
Yeah, I
That's
can make
cool,
one for
man.
you like that.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. You don't have to do that. But
Boys,
it's
we're about. Assalamu alaikum.
All right.
yeah, walaikum
Walaikum
assalam.
salam.
Thank you. Barakallah feek. No problem. But anyway, guys, jazakallah khair, all the people. Khalilullah, I really appreciate you coming on, man. It means the world to me. Yusuf, he was on here earlier. Same thing. Really means the world. Guys, I was drinking my chocolate milk, right? Oh, sorry, that was after. I was sitting down, about to go drink my chocolate milk. Go ahead. I know that makes me sound childish. I like chocolate milk, man. Whatever. I was like, should I do a live? Should I do something? I was bored out of my mind. I wanted to do something. I just felt like I had to do something. And then, alhamdulillah, like I wasn't expecting all this to go down, but alhamdulillah, was great. I'll go. Be sure, guys, to tune in Sunday, inshallah. If everything goes as planned, please don't hate me if things don't work out. But inshallah, bi'idhnillah, I'm gonna try my best. Bi'idhnillah, Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. British time. Well, yeah. 7 p.m. British time. I'll be going through some. It's going to be titled "Embarrassing Missionary Claims," Episode 2. I think you can actually even see if you go and like type "Dawah over Dunya" in YouTube, it comes up the planned event.
Yep.
So alhamdulillah. So does it? I don't know. Should I check maybe?
I'm pretty sure it does. If you already have it scheduled, it should.
Yep, there it is. Yeah. Okay, alhamdulillah, good. But anyway, so be sure to tune in for that. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for all the people who came on, and also all the people in the comments. I really appreciate that. All the people in the comments who were consistently just I really do. I appreciate the small stuff, guys. I really do. The small stuff. I know it's small, seems insignificant, but I really, really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
But, like I said,
Psychor's a good brother. Psychor comes to our streams.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Again, thank you very much, all the people. Be sure to tune in on Sunday. Catch you guys later. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.